This is Sound Signals. I'm your host, Summer, where we help people take back their interest and become their own bank. The key to all of this is to pass the knowledge along. Okay, so first up we have gold. Quick overview on gold. So we are in this trade here. I believe we spoke about this. Spoke about this last time. Let me check. So let's go down to the 4-hour, and what we said was that we seen a small bull flag here. I believe I said bearish, but I meant to say bull. So it's a bull flag here. This is our target here. This is our entry point. So far, so I believe last time we spoke, it had just broken out, right? So it had just broke out here, and then I said it'll come down back to this, maybe take a retest here. It retested a little bit deeper, which is fine because technically it doesn't have a bullish engulf until this area anyways. So it retested here, which is still good because it's in this hit this it retested the top of this flag here, so that anywhere in this area would have been a good buy, right? So far so good. What it's doing now is once it retested, now it broke out to make another high, right? So what it's doing now, since it broke out and made this higher high here, right? So we have a high, higher high, and then we have another higher high, right? Because this high is higher than this high, and all it's doing right now is just retesting this area. So since today's Monday, should not too much should be going on, but right now you can just see how this trade is going out, right? How this trade is playing out, and right now it's just retesting this area. It might come lower. It just depends. Either way, if it holds here, hopefully it does, because it looks like the MAs might come up and touch this area. So hopefully it holds here and then it completes our trade there. Okay. So far good. So far so good on this trade here. If you want to play this trade, so if you didn't know, okay, because remember we said that this was last time we seen this video it was just green candles, right? None of this red stuff happened yet. So none of the red candles happened yet. We'll go down to the lower time frame, and that's when we get our entry point. So technically we don't even have an entry until here, right? And you can see that's where I entered. It's not like Ethereum or Bitcoin or any of those cryptos where the spread is much higher. So even though we see an engulf here, right? On those type of cryptos, on those type of pairs, the entry, since the spread is so high, the entry is going to be here or here, depending if you're in a buy. If it's in a sell, then it might be down here or whatever. But right now we're talking about a buy. So clearly you can see I got basically where I want it, right? So as soon as I seen that engulf on the 1 hour, the trade was going against me. I was like, uh-oh, because we had a bearish engulf here. But it quickly reversed, and you can see here it did as well. And then if you're a more aggressive trader, then of course you want to enter on the 1 hour. If you're not so aggressive, then you could have just waited for the 4 hour. You could have waited for the 4 hour there. Here we see this small red candle, and then this large green candle, and it engulfed. And then you could have entered here, and then there. That's your trade, right? I'm just a little bit more aggressive sometimes. And here, as you can see, as soon as I seen that engulf, cool. That's one confirmation for me. And from there, we just keep going up. I'm in several, but as long as I know price didn't come down to here. So if you didn't know, if you're going textbook, right? If this was a textbook play, you would, let's do the line chart so you can see. This was a textbook play. You would get in below, somewhere around here, right? Because you would go below the flag or the last low, right? So technically when it's a line, it's like this, right? And then you would have just waited for a retest, like what it's done now. And that's a textbook play. That's how you would normally set it up, you know, something like that. Below, your stop loss would be below the flag. Your entry would be right where the retest is, wherever it is. You don't know. It could be here. It could be where it is now, here. It just depends, right? So what I mean is, this is what I mean. It could be here. It could be here. It just depends wherever it finds that level of support. Okay, so that's a textbook play for now. It's playing out as it should. Okay, like I said, it's just retesting this area. Probably by tomorrow or the next few days, it should, you know, hit that target area. Okay, so now what's the game plan overall, right? So because this is just one little short-term play, right? So the game plan overall is still the same. It confirmed that double bottom, perhaps, most likely, right? So this double bottom here, right? So if this is a double bottom, then that means, like I said, one of the scenarios was that this here, this area was so strong, so bullish that it can be able to break out above here, which it might do. We don't know yet. It still hasn't got to our target area. So possibly, if this is a confirmed double bottom, what might happen is it's going to break out here. So this is going to be so strong enough that it's going to break out here, right? Test this area, probably stay here for a little bit. Depends on if it's a Friday, if it's very volatile. It just depends. But either way, this is what a textbook's double bottom or W pattern will play out to. It's going to break out, make a new high, okay? It's going to come back and retest this area. So it's going to come back and test this area, okay? Then it's going to climb its way out, you know, and finally head on to that 3K area like we like. That's our goal, okay? And so far, this cup and handle is starting to play out. You know, we thought originally we thought this was the original cup and handle. You see this inner channel here? Let me see if I can show you. So this inner channel here, we thought that was the original cup and handle, right? We thought this broke out, but it didn't. Okay, so and that's okay, because guess what? We're still in this trade. The reason why I'm in multiple trades is because, like I said, our short-term play, yes, is to this, you know, to this target here. But our overall swing trade is to 3K, okay? So that's why we're in it multiple times. But regardless of the point there, this is the game plan for gold, okay? I don't want to talk too much about it because we still have some other trades we have to talk about. So Bitcoin, excuse me. So Bitcoin, what we have here is, so technically, Bitcoin is in this channel, okay? So I drew these trend lines here because it hit multiple times here. You know, one point here. Let me show you. So 1 point here, another point. Second point is here. Okay, made a fourth point. You know, and so on, as you can see. But so when a trend line, you usually want to make a trend line when it has multiple points. So here's one, here's two, and that's trend line for that. Actually, here's three. So 1, 2, 3. That's one trend line, and then it is the bottom 1, 2, 3, and that's a trend line. This hasn't happened yet when I drew these trend lines, but you can see how they are in confluence, right? And so what about this trade? All right, so like I said, the first short term is that Bitcoin is extremely bullish, right? And we said we want to buy in this area. Well, guess what? It's in this area, right? So what we can actually do is extend this out a little bit so you can see clearly. Okay, so there it is, right there. All right, and then we can extend our little green box so you understand Okay, so it hit this area that we like, right? We have multiple engulfs here. 1, 2, 3. You know, a couple more. You can see it multiple times. You could have got in here, but like I said, it's just a tad bit risky because Bitcoin has been on this extremely bullish trend, and it has came back to test this area. You see where this originally where this break of structure has happened. So it has came back and touched this area, saying, "Hey, I miss you. I'm back. Okay, now what?" So if we are, if you were a bear, then this would be a prime area of where to, you know, be feeling fairly bearish, feeling bearish. You want to get in a short. You want to sell, right? Okay. We're not bearish, right? We're not. We're me. I've been bullish, but I'm a little bit hesitant, like I said, because this area is a prime area, right, to sell, and it has and if you look on the weekly or even on the daily, I believe, there's so many. Look how many blue candles we have. 1, 2, 3. We haven't had a down day. You see, we could have multiple blue weekly candles, but you eventually want to see some type of pullback. Like here, you see, yeah, 2 down days, a little bit of a third there, but you want to see some type of pullback in this trend. Okay, so that's why I'm a little bit cautious. You want to see some type of pullback. Is this it? Could this be it? Possibly. This could possibly be it, and that's why um, you to me you would be in a very short term buy here. If you were to play this trade out, because look, technically you could see that this. Let's move this over. Technically, you can see that the trend line. Look, if it continues to follow these trend lines here, this channel, then guess where the target is, right? That same area. So yes, Bitcoin could still continue to go up, um, and that's all right. If you were to be in that trade, that'll be a good trade. That'll be a successful trade because you adhere to all your rules and your setups. For me, this would be a good trade if I wanted to take it. Since I'm already in gold and I'm already in Ethereum versus Bitcoin, I'm not going to be in Bitcoin right now. Okay, um, this is very short term. If I was in my signals group, um, I would tell them this is a high risk trade. Most definitely, this is a high risk trade. That's the best I can give them because yes, technically this is a good trade. You could take this doom, right? Your stop loss would be right about here because it has made that last low, and technically you can kind of see it's a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern here. Actually, you can see. Remember, I said I do these lives with you, so as soon as I'm looking at it, this is what I see. Okay, so you can see that a little bit of head and shoulders pattern. It's a small one, so if you were to calculate this, right? All right, as you can see, it's almost hitting that target. So that's why I feel like Bitcoin is a little bit toppy, and I feel like correction would not be bad at this point for me. This is why my main target area that I'm looking for is here. I'm looking for that 38, 40, 42 range. That's where I really want to buy, especially long term. Okay. Um, so I'm looking for the better buy. Who knows? It may never reach here. Okay, I'm already in Bitcoin long term, so and I bought back when it was 10,000. So yeah, um, this is nothing basically. So if I miss it, I miss it. But long term wise, I'm just looking for the most optimal better buy, and if it's not, then I'll just average down. Um, but anyways, that's what's going on with Bitcoin. As you can see, it may be ready for a leg up. If it doesn't, like I said, if it doesn't pass this area, we talked about this last time. If it doesn't break this area here and gets rejected, Bam, bam, bam. Look, you're going to be looking for this next target area, okay? Hasn't happened yet. And even if it does in the short term, even if it comes up here, I'll still be looking for this area just because it has made a new high. You can see the highs are getting much smaller, right? Okay, you see the swings are starting to get much smaller. It was large here, and then look, it's getting smaller. It's getting smaller. So, you know, that to me is a sign. And plus, we also have some bearish divergence as well. Okay, let's look on the daily. You can see it more clear. You can see it there, but I want you to see it a little bit more clearly. There you go. You see there? So we do have some divergence on the RSI. Our trend line is going up here. Trend line is going up, and this RSI is going down. So that's a little bit toppy, right? And normally this does eventually play out just like it has here. You can see when it got extremely overbought here, right? Our RSI was already telling us that we were in some type of reversal, right? As you can see here, all of this is coming down. Okay, so there it is. So that's just giving you a huge overview, right? What I do on these charts is just very quick, and so you can just understand a little bit better. But obviously you will dive in more deeper. You understand the RSI, you understand these MA indicators here, okay? But for now, like I said, this is what's going on. Bitcoin, and you can see Bitcoin kind of fell out of this this trend line. Doesn't mean that it's gonna, you know, oh, it fell out a little bit, now it's gonna go down. No, it could still go up. It could just still bounce off. It's just like a belly, or a trampoline. Think of it as a trampoline. You know, you jump on a trampoline, it goes down. Doesn't mean you fall through, right? It just, you know, if you're heavier, it's gonna bulge down to the other side, and then boom, it springs you right up. So that's what's gonna happen. Probably. We don't know. I'm not in it, but I'm just giving you a scenario of what might happen, okay? So that's Bitcoin. Ethereum is the same thing, okay? Look at it. It's been rejected here multiple times. Okay, you can see a trend line here. We have multiple 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's a little bit of a multiple. We have 1, 2, and a little bit of 3 coming up right now. So we have a little bit of a ascending triangle. Ascending triangles are bullish. So, but once again, it's feeling a little bit toppy too. I think, you know, a correction is due for these cryptos. When? We don't know. What I just did there is I was measuring the length of this ascending triangle to the upside, and yes, if this ascending triangle plays out, then yes, you can see that the target is about 37,000, 3,700, right? So 3,700. But Bitcoin, I mean, Ethereum is just extremely strong. I mean, it's been very bullish, as you can see, has never came back and hit any of our zones as of yet, right? But it will. And when it does, that's the prime time to buy. But that's not financial advice. You have to do your own research. This is mine. And whenever that time comes, obviously, I'll be ready, right? Okay, so next we have Ethereum versus Bitcoin. All right, so last time we spoke, it was still, you know, I believe I was still a little bit down here, you know, but either way, or actually, no, I think I was here, all right? Okay, I was about here. I was like, it was going good, but, you know, I was in the red. I had a little bit of drawdown here, but obviously you can see now that it broke out. And what's new on this chart is this symmetrical triangle. So what I want to show you about this symmetrical triangle is because we had a symmetrical triangle here, right? Let me just clone this and paste. So we had a symmetrical triangle right about here. Okay. if you remember. And usually with symmetrical triangles, the bias is, normally you want to go with the trend, right? So if you were to see this symmetrical triangle here, this smaller one that we're in now, we just fell out, right? That would be somewhat bearish, right? So your bias will be somewhat bearish, right? Triangle, came, it'll be to the downside. But like symmetrical triangles, and like in this situation where we thought it was technically more bullish here, right? And we were going to the upside, waiting for that breakout. It didn't happen, right? So that's why it's always important to wait. So you like here, okay? So if you didn't see any of this and you just got to this trade or whatever the case may be, right? And you didn't know this was an area to buy. Like we knew that was the area to buy. Look, if we extend this, you can see it's in our buying zone, right? So we already had one confirmation that this is a buy. But say you didn't have that, right? And you seen this triangle and you're like, okay, should I buy or sell? You're not sure. What you'll do is with every triangle, when you have a setup like this, you just wait. You just wait for a breakout. So if it breaks down to the upside, guess what? We're waiting for a retest here. Okay, it could be here, it could be here. It doesn't matter where it could be. As long as that retest is somewhere in here, right? That's why I have my my alarm here, because I'm waiting for another retest, and I'm gonna enter again. But besides the point, so you're waiting for that area, and then you're gonna wait for some type of confirmation, some candle confirmation. Maybe it'd be a bullish engulf, whatever your candle confirmation is. Maybe it's a pattern. What I don't know, but for me, I'm usually an engulf person. That's what I do. So for me, I'm gonna wait for another engulf, but and that's it. So then you wait for here, you wait for your engulf, and then sayonara. It's off to the races basically after that. Just like here, okay. We were in this trade. I was bullish because I was being a little bit more aggressive at my bias for this trade, right? But if I would have just waited for some type of breakout, right? And like it did, this time it happened to break down. It broke down. Guess what? It's retested here. I would have gotten a sell, and I did get in a sell, and I told you guys that. But if I would have just been more patient and just wait for a breakout, then bam, I would have avoided one loss, right? Right, and I would have been on what is that? 3 week, 3 rows in a trade, like 3 trades in a three winning trades in a row. Okay, there we go. Sorry, 3 winning trades in a row. But besides that, that's what happened. And so now this is all we have to do, right? So you know how to trade triangles. If you don't know how to trade triangles, it's simple, right? Like I said, everything's on the internet to tell you what to look out for. But you should know, you should have your own type of system and something that you're more comfortable and confident in taking in, right? And not only that, guess what? We have a triple bottom. 1, 2, 3. Triple bottom is definitely a reversal pattern, right? And that's why I'm a little bit skeptical of these trades here, just because it has hit so many times. 1, 2, this is the 3rd time, right? So it may reverse here, it may not, it may continue. We don't know, but either way, we're not in these, and you can be, but I wouldn't be in Ethereum, but I'll definitely be in maybe Bitcoin a little bit more. I feel a little bit more confident, at least, especially because I see this type of maybe this inverse pattern there, this head and shoulders inverse. But anyways, I'm jumping all over the place because yeah, no reason. But I just want to throw in a quick. So let's just when we see this video next, we just have everything prepared and ready So you guys are gonna say, no, you know, I'm doing it this way or that way. No, everything's the same. We're just extending it out actually. So there it is, extending it out. In there. Okay, save. All right, so that's what we have so far. Everything's good in this trade. If you wanted to trade this, then yes, we got that breakout. Now we're just waiting for that. We're waiting for some type of retest, and that's it. Okay. I want to throw a little bit of XRP. So XRP, I've been looking at XRP for a minute now, and honestly, I think it's gearing up for what I think is a beautiful flag pattern, possibly. Okay, so I see it in this nice channel here, and I'm gonna extend this out. Excuse me. All right, cool. So you can see Bitcoin, Ripple, XRP, fell out of this little bit of a triangle pattern. It's not the prettiest, so we're gonna, just get rid of that. But I think it's gearing up for some type of flag pattern, right? So as you can see, this was the last breaker structure, major breaker structure here, right? And then we were in this like 3-month downtrend. Okay, now look at it. It has got back and above this trend line, this breaker structure, right? Now I think it's just basically retesting this area and turning it into support. Yes, this is support. Okay, because you see this was resistance. It couldn't get back above it, and so it fell, right? Now it broke through this resistance, boom, and now it's turning it into support because now it's being supported, right? So I think that's what it's gearing up to. So that's why I'm a little bit cautious on Bitcoin and Ethereum because of XRP, only because I see some type of some flag pattern here, and our flag patterns like to come down in this area of buying zone, right? And for me, that's about the $1 zone. So if you see XRP hit that $1 zone, I think it would be one of the greatest buys that you have ever done. I'm just kidding. It'll be one of the greatest buys I think I would have ever completed, but that's besides the point. I mean, I bought down here too, so not really, I guess. This is where you really want to buy. You want to buy here. See where I have this circle? Those are the areas that you want to buy, okay? You normally don't want to buy, when it's, you don't want to buy here, and look, because if you would have bought here, then yeah, you can see that you were in profit, for a good amount of time, but not really, and then it just started to come down. At least here if you buy at support, you have some leeway, right? Even if you were to buy up here, your price is so low, it's okay if you average up a little bit, but you normally don't want to do that unless you're in it for the long haul. Then, like I tell anybody, if you were to buy here or here, if you're long term, then guess what? Then this buy 10 years, 5 years from now, you wouldn't even care you bought it at, oh my gosh, I bought it at $1.03. I could have bought it at 40 cents. From there you wouldn't even be thinking about that. You wouldn't even care. You're right. So sometimes I don't try to get too technical when it comes to my buys long term. Obviously, when it comes to trading, yes, you want to get technical. You want to buy here. But yeah, so I think XRP is gearing up for some type of flag pattern. So, and that makes perfect sense because it's starting, these MAs cross, so that's a bullish sign, right? And if it comes back to retest this area, that's beautiful, right? And if, say, you're still not sure, you're like, I don't know if that's the bottom or whatever, and you need another confirmation, right? Well, we know flag patterns, right? Especially bull flags. It's the same thing. We're going to wait for that breakout, wait for that retest here, and bam, we're off, okay? And guess what? If this is a flag, we'll measure the flagpole here, okay? Measure the flagpole there. And look at that. Okay. You could do it from the bottom of the flag if you're more conservative. If you're a little bit aggressive, then there you are. You know, it's still in this range here. And that's it. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit for XRP. So, you know, if it continues to fall, great. And that's why I'm thinking, you know, Bitcoin continues to fall somewhere around here, awesome. Ethereum too continues to fall here. Those are excellent buys, only because basing it off the XRP. If XRP wants to continue to fall a little bit, then I believe Ethereum and Bitcoin will want to follow and fall too. If not, hey, if this is it, if this is the flag here, then guess what? We're just waiting for that breakout, because I already bought some. Like I said, I already bought, and then if it falls, I'm averaging down. You see, that's because you don't know, right? You don't know. This could be it. So if this is it, then buy, right? You don't have to buy the whole lot. You know, you can if you want to, but like I said, 5, 4, 3, 2 years from now, would it matter if you bought from, you know, if you, oh man, I could have bought it at 99 cents when I bought it at $1.17. You know what I mean? Like, no, just buy a little bit. Average, you know, as soon as you see price going down, buy a little bit more. Buy a little bit more. As soon as it keeps going down, and then your average price overall is much lower than your original buy versus if you would have just bought a whole lot or your whole lot at a certain price. Okay. But there you go. That's XRP, a little bit of XRP in there. Obviously we have, so the goal for this here, we're already in it. We're looking to, honestly, the way this chart is looking and setting up, it might go, like I said, way past our 80 cents. That's, you know, that's our goal. Yeah, I even have it past this because I have a feeling, you know, it's gonna go much higher. But for now, that's our goal for that. We're in the trade. It's a swing trade, so we're gonna be in it for a minute. Okay. Ethereum, it could break up to the upside here. It could break down to the downside here. Either way, I'll even show you so we could. Because I did this here, so you see that, right? Upside, downside, bam! Look at that. You know, it falls in our golden area that we want to buy. Same for Bitcoin, right? It could break up to the upside. That could be the last one, and then finally, that bearish divergence on the divergence on the RSI can play out and finally hit that target that we would want, that buy zone. Okay, so no more fear of missing out, no more FOMO. Okay, and gold, obviously gold. We're in this trade, and we're just gonna see what happens. You know, let's see. So far, so good on everything, and yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you off with this. So if you're new to the channel, definitely give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that notification bell to get notified. If also, always, if you're a subscriber to this channel, I always thank you and appreciate you and your support here at Sound Signals. Okay, and the key to all of this is to pass the knowledge along. That's it for me, and I'll see you guys next time.